Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel throughout social media. We will get you out of here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 Eastern Time. Deliver live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. each time and later, and deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays. So we'll meet the cappers and get right to the picks, so we don't mess around here on the Drive-Thru. Let's go to Big Al. Big Al, how's it going?
Pretty good. Had a good day yesterday. Went 3-1, and yeah, we just look to going today, Tony.
Get that positive momentum going, no doubt about that. Alex, what's happening?
Yeah, it's been an up and down year. Yeah, and hopefully we just get going up here after a little bit. And yeah, yesterday was good. Swept the board 3-0, and we just want to keep going from here.
Very good. Keep it rolling. Wayne, what's happening?
Everything's solid with me. Definitely been a strong week for me. 500 day yesterday, but I did hit my play today with the sweater with the Lakers. Looking good so far today with early baseball, and just looking to continue today. So got a monster card and all the sports. So looking to hear what the fellas have, and looking to put you guys on some winners for myself.
Absolutely. Let's head to Mills in Tokyo from Tokyo, Japan. Mills, what's going on? Good signal out there.
Hey, konnichiwa, everybody. Yeah, man, we got a lot of, opening day. I couldn't miss the drive-through for this show at all. So, yeah, man, let's get it going.
Let's get it going indeed here. We'll get to the NBA. Of course, picks from Sweet 16, Major League Baseball. We'll close out with hockey here on the show today. So let's get it underway tonight. NBA to start it off here on the drive-through for today. We'll begin here with Pacers and Wizards here. Wizards, dogs here. Pacers 13, a total 235.5. Next up, we've got Mavericks and Magic. Orlando Magic 6.5, total 218. Spurs and Cavs. Cavs now 14, total 236.5. We'll take a quick look here at the injury reports here for this block of games here from this NBA. On San Antonio, looks like they'll be without Basie once again. On the Cleveland side, no Bates, no Mobley, no Tyson. Jerome is probable. Dallas and Orlando, we got Exum, Gafford, Lively, PJ Washington out. Anthony here out for Orlando. And in that Spurs, we got the Spurs, Cavs in there for you. Indiana and Washington. Indiana, a clean injury report. We got Bay, Brogdon, Coulibaly, George, and Smart out for Washington. And we'll get this one underway here with Wayne.
Hey, Tony, what games are we going through? The first three?
Yeah. Spurs, Cavs. We've got the Magic, Mavericks, and we got the Pacers, Wizards.
Okay, just making sure I ain't jumping out of the time slot. Let me make it fast, though. Only one in this time slot. Magic Mavs, y'all should already know what it is. We going with the Magic, working with triple revenge. Mavs have had our number, but this is a whole different Magic team. This is a whole different Mavs team. Mavs just way too injured, way too banged up. Rumored that Anthony Davis may come back. I highly doubt it. Injury reserve Davis will probably not play. Even if he does, I think that'll throw off the momentum. And Magic just need this momentum to come into this playoff sharp. They've been playing a lot stronger. Paulo and Franz seem to get healthier and healthier. They've been exploding, and we're at home with revenge. Yeah, I think it's stomp mode. I'll lay that 6.5 with the Magic here.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony Davis is in the starting lineup tonight so far. Expected to start here for the Dallas Mavericks. Next up, we move on over to Alex.
Yeah, just looking at that Indiana-Washington game, Indiana played a really, a hard-fought game last night. Still came out with a 1-point loss. They covered on the line pretty well across the board from the line offerings, but that wasn't the important thing here. When I'm looking at this game, I'm looking at a team that's a little bit tired, and I don't think defense is going to, be a highlight in this game. But also at the same time, I look for Washington to stay within the number here against a team that, like I said, is very tired. The home teams are 17-3-4 ATS in the last 24 in this head-to-head series. So we're going to go with Washington from this time slot to cover.
Yeah, from Alex. Next up, we move on over to Mills.
Yeah, man. So just looking at the games, a lot of big favorites on this card. The first three games, the lowest one is probably going to be the Magic. They're only laying 6.5 points. But then again, with Anthony Davis back in the lineup, that can, maybe just make that a play that you want to stay off. There's something that you want to stay on. Paulo Banchero, that guy's been as advertised, man. What is his third year in the year and in the season? I want to say maybe second year. I don't even know, man. But I just know this kid is the goods, man. His point prop right now, they raised it. I mean, they jacked it high. It's at 28.5. That means he's dropping the 30 piece, Tony. I'm taking Paulo Banchero over his point prop in this game. Oh, yeah. And then looking at that Indiana Pacers and Wizards game, this guy's been, the reincarnation of what? Isaiah Thomas, Tyrese Halliburton, mixture of Jason Williams in there. His assist prop is what I'm on in this game. It's at 9.5. We cashed it the last two times in the prop shop. We gave it out last game. Dude had like 18 assists on the Lakers. So in this one, I do think he's going to give me at least 11 assists. So those are the two-player props that I would be looking at in those three games.
There from Mills. All right, next up, we move right on over to Big Al.
Yeah, I'll take Dallas to bounce back. They were just blown out a couple nights ago by the Knicks by 15 points, 128-113. But Dallas is 98-49 ATS on the road off a road loss, including 52-23 ATS versus an opponent off a straight-up win. I just don't trust Orlando. Orlando hasn't been on a 4-game winning streak since late November, early December. They've won their last 3, but I think the streak ends tonight. As far as the San Antonio-Cleveland game, Cleveland's favored by 14 points. It's the first of back-to-back games for Cleveland. They play Friday as well. I don't like laying this many points with the team in the first of back-to-back games. A lot of times the coaches might limit the starters' minutes in those games just to preserve them for the next day, although these days they end up just not playing them at all in the second game. But still, Cleveland falls into a bad situation there. And the Spurs also have been pretty strong on the road versus Eastern Conference foes that are off a point spread win. San Antonio is 92-65 ATS in that situation. The Spurs are off that blowout loss the other night, and the Spurs are now 347-259 ATS off a point spread loss where they failed to cover the spread by 9 or more points in their previous game. So I'll take the 14 with the Spurs.
There from Big Al. I'll tell you what I think here about these games tonight. I like the under here with Indiana and Washington. It is a back-to-back. Washington, not a lot of points here. I expect a drop-off offensively from this Wizards team in back-to-back spots. Pacers at 12-6 to the under as a road favorite. Look for the under in that one. Dallas and Orlando. With Dallas, just keep going over. I mean, they've gone over in 8 of 11. We look at actually over 9 straight. Magic over in 8 of 11. Defensive issues, major defensive issues here for this Mavericks team. But they have been shooting the ball very well. And also Orlando's put up over the past 3 at home, averaging 120 points per 100 possessions. So I'll look for the over in that one. I agree with Big Al. I'll take the points here with San Antonio in this one. Cleveland 3-6 is spread at home when they're favored by 12.5 to 18 points. Again, I agree there. Could be limiting the starters' minutes here. Cleveland with a 5-game lead over Boston with about 10 to play there. So looks like Cleveland's on their way to winning the Eastern Conference. They have 10 games remaining. 5-game lead in the loss column over Boston. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we continue here with the NBA with the next 3 games on this block. Next up, we've got the Hawks and Heat. Heat favorite here, 1.5, total 226. Grizzlies and Thunder. Thunder now up to 10.5, up from 10, total 237. Lakers and Bulls. Lakers now up to 4 in this one, total 237. So we've seen a point move up here on this one. Let's take a look at the injury report here for this block of games. And we got here Atlanta and Miami. It's a Capella, Toppin, and Wallace out for Atlanta. On the Miami side, no Jovic, no Love, no Robinson. Lakers and Bulls, Hakimura and Kleber are out. This is a back-to-back for LA. For the rested Bulls, Trey Jones out. Vucevic, Giddy, Ball, questionable. Kobe White, probable there in that one. Memphis and OKC, Morant, Bagley, Poulin out. Stevens questionable. On the OKC side, Dang, Dukas, Mitchell, Wiggins out. Williams and Wallace questionable. So we get the block underway here with Wade.
Just want to start off by saying my heart is disappointed. Al joining Tony T on the Fade the Magic train. It's not going to be a fun ride, but I'm
not fading the Magic. I'm on Dallas.
There you go. I'm on over the total.
Okay. I feel you. Only one I love in this time slot for real is Lakers versus Shy. Revenge spot where Lakers just got smacked. I think it's a fair line considering Lakers coming off the back to back in that tough game. Got to mention Chicago coming off a 7-game road trip with only 1 day's rest. Just seems like a letdown spot for them. Lakers' problem in that game was they played absolutely no defense. I think JJ Redick is on their ass right now, coming closer in the playoff time. They do play better defense while they're on the road. I'm going to attack the Lakers in minus 3.5 in this spot.
There from Wayne. White Sox now up 6-0 on the Angels, bottom of the 8th. There is a viewing party today at Angel Stadium, one of the smallest viewing parties I've ever seen for any organization, any sport over at Anaheim Stadium today. Pretty sad for those Angels. All right. Next up, we move on over to Alex.
Yeah, I'm looking at this game, and I'm just looking at a team that's probably playing some of the best basketball in the NBA of late, Chicago. And no matter what, like I said, Lakers, they might need wins. They fought hard last night to get that win at Indiana. Tired legs tonight, going into Chicago. Chicago is not an easy team to play against right now. They're still a below 500 team, but this is a team that has not failed to cover in 10 straight games. So, you have to have respect here for Chicago. You have to take the points. And if the Lakers come out on top, I think it'll be a hard fought again. And taking the points here is a viable opportunity to cash a ticket.
There we go from Alex. Next up, we move on right over to Mills in Tokyo.
Yeah, we'll start off with that Hawks game, man. I really can't believe that they're actually getting points in this game. I think they're getting 1.5 points right now. I'll go ahead and just take them on that. And if they're the favorites at a minus 115, I even like them at that, man. I want to say in their last 10 games, they're 7-3. Looking at the Miami Heat, the only thing that they're gonna have to clamor about is that win over Jimmy Butler and the Warriors this year. Besides that, they ain't been doing nothing good. 2-8. And I don't know who's out there trying to score points from them. Remember when everybody thought Bam Adebayo was good? Not me. Remember when everybody thought Tyler Hero was the real hero? Not me. So in this one, man, I got to be looking at the Atlanta Hawks in that one, and then just sliding down the spots. Looking at that Lakers and Bulls game. Last time they played, I was watching it with my pops, and he was like, hey, that Luka guy's pretty good, right? And turned on the game, and it was getting blown out by 20-something points in there. So definitely revenge spot for the Lakers in there, but if anything, I'm looking at the points in there. I think both these teams can score. And the one guy that I'm looking to score is going to be Kobe White, man, for the Chicago Bulls. I think that guy's going to be able to go over his point prop. It's at 25. And if you guys just look at the trends and trajectory, man, it'd be hard to pass on him, man, against those Lakers out there. And then did you talk on the Rockets and Jazz game as well?
That's the next block.
Okay. Grizzlies and Thunder?
Next block. Oh, no,
All
this
right,
block.
cool.
This
so,
block,
yeah,
this,
man.
This block. Oh. That one is, yeah. Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. If you rewind 2 years ago, when these two teams used to play, it would always be the Grizzlies damn near favored. You know what I mean? And it looked like they had the pieces that was going to be the ones that was going to be making the noise. Ja Morant hasn't been the same. But Desmond Bane, he's playing like damn near Bane. And I like him, man, in this spot. I'm taking him over his point prop at 22.5. You seen what happened? He pushed down his own teammate. When he's doing stuff like that, I get it. I don't like it. But, hey, man, I do like it in the sense of I know that he's going to be the one out there firing those shots. So I'm taking Desmond Bane over his point prop.
It's okay if they need it, right? There we go. Next up, we have Big Al.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers in the revenge game here, losing by 31 points. So I think the Bulls are going to have LA's attention. Chicago comes into this game off that big win at Denver. They won by 10, 129-119. But when you want to play on a favorite, when they're playing with revenge from a loss by 30 or more points and their opponent is off a Suats win, those favorites have covered the spread significantly. So I'm going to take the Lakers minus a 4.
From Big Al, I'll tell you what I think here about these games here tonight. On this block, I'm going to look at Atlanta and Miami over 227.5. And this one, Miami is a line between +3 and -3 at home. 12-4 to the over here. Therefore, in this for this Heat team. A day of rest, both teams really trending to the over here. 25-16 for the Hawks, 25-18 for the Heat. Looking here at this Heat team, very good shooting form over their past 5 at 52%, 41% for 3. I'll look at them in that spot. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bulls. I mean, I've been riding them for a while here. They've covered 14 of 16 since the break. 11-6 of the spread with rest advantage. Lakers coming off that emotional win yesterday against Orlando. Back-to-back for them. I'll take the Bulls with rest advantage in this spot, in this one here. And what else we've got here? Let's see. That's what I got for you here in this block. Let's continue here on the drive-thru as we close out the NBA here with the following games tonight. We'll close it out here with the Rockets and Jazz. Rockets 13, total 227.5. Trailblazers and Kings. Kings 6 now, total 227. We started off here with Wayne.
Yeah, I know we got a lot on this card, but I do have a little bit in my notes about that Chicago game that I wanted to add. Typically this line, when Chicago is an average team or a 500 team, will be about 7.5 and the 8 mark. And I would kind of agree with Alex and Tony in this spot. But since they've been hot and playing above averages last month, feel like some of them points will be in your back pocket has been taking it away to give Lakers a little bit more of an edge, and not as many points to cover in this spot. That's another reason why I like the Lakers as well. As far as the games that we're talking about right now, I'm taking Utah. I know they just got smashed. I know the Rockets are a way superior team. But Rockets also want to stay healthy coming down the stretch, so I just don't see them coming out there and putting their foot on Utah's neck. Utah's been competitive. Offense has been solid in spots, just getting way too many points. Backdoor is wide open, and Utah typically plays very well at home, so I'm going to ride with Utah in the 13.5.
From Wayne, next up we move on over to Alex.
Yeah, I was looking at this too, and I guess we'll take Utah here. It's one of those situations here where it's a points game, and it's just a lean at this point. Like at this point in the season, there's a lot of stuff that happens during a game that you can't account for. You can't look at a superior team unless they're in a situation where they really need a win, where you're going to expect them to play, all out. So, let's just take the points with Utah here and cross our fingers. But, from a mathematical perspective, that's the bet. Take the points.
From Alex, next up we move on over to Mills.
All right, that's in the books. Yankees get the win. That's how you want to start it off. You know what I mean?
You made you
Ain't
sweat in
nothing
the
better
ninth,
than
though. You
that.
had to sweat that ninth, though. It wasn't easy. You should have blown. You shouldn't have to sweat
Yeah,
that much.
Yeah, man, that's how it is, man. When you ain't got Rivera back there no more, hey, it's gonna be like that, man. But let's give them something in these games, man. So everybody's on the Jazz with the points. I get it. I'm on Jalen Green with the points. His point props at 22, and this is something that I've been getting to the window with frequently within the last 5 games. Gave him out last time on the prop shop. He dropped a 33 game. And this thing, his point prop right now where it's at, it's a little bit too low. 22 is kind of where his average been all year. And against the Utah Jazz, I actually think he could drop another 30 piece. All right, let's talk about them Sacramento Kings, man. Sacramento Kings taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Can't believe it, man. Yeah, this is the thing. I'm a loyal Sacramento Kings fan, and I've been a loyal Sacramento Kings fan since Jason Williams. So whatever's going on right now, it don't hurt me. And there's no way I can trust them, man. They're laying 6 points against the Portland Trailblazers, and they lost the last 4 games. What's going on in the locker room? What's going on with the team, with the chemistry? I can't get behind them at all. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would probably, for the rest of the year, I would probably blind bet the other team, and I'm probably going to come out on top. I'm not going to take them on the money line. I am going to be taking Portland on the point spread. I do think it's a nice number that I can get behind. Keegan Murray is one player that I'm going to be watching for the Sacramento Kings. His point prop's only at 13.5, and he's been getting up 3 points in every 3-pointers in every single game. And then on the Portland Trailblazers, it's this guy named Tamani Kimura. His point props at 12.5, and he's been cashing on this, man. So those are the 2 player props that I like in there, and take the Portland Trailblazers to get you paid.
Sacramento's the bad Bulls now. They got all the bad Bull players. They should have got Kobe White. And how bad is it for the Angels? They're down 8-0. We already have our first positional player trying to get an out. The Angels brought in a positional player to try to get out of the 8th inning. How bad is it for the Angels when you have to resort to
opening day? That's horrible.
Day, and you're having a viewing party in Anaheim Stadium. You're bringing a positional player to get outs. How bad is that? Against the White Sox of all teams. Oh my goodness, atrocious on over Big Al.
Yeah, that's what the organization gets for trying to pretend they're based in Los Angeles. Oh boy, I'm gonna take the Kings. I'll go against Mills. I understand they're playing poorly, but that's why I'm taking them. Sacramento now 34-17 ATS if they failed to cover the spread in each of their two previous games. So I'll lay the 5.5.
There from Big Al. I'll tell you what I think here. Just one I'll look at. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just lay it with this Rockets team. I like nothing from this Utah team. Utah has failed to cover 6 of 7. You know they've been big dogs in those games, and they're just getting pounded. Give me Houston. Houston is trying to get that second seed away from Denver. They have a game of half lead over Denver for the number 2 seed. For Houston, that might be important for Houston. So I'll look at Houston in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive.
The good news though for the Jazz is they've coming real close to locking up one of the bottom 3 records. They're 4 games clear of the Pelicans, so with like 9 to play. So you might get a good effort from Utah tonight.
You might see. That's possible. We'll see how. We haven't seen anything from them here, and they're sitting guys too. I think Collins is out. Let's see. We didn't go through the injuries here this one, right? Collins and Markin out. Harkless is probable. Adams, Thompson questionable. Therefore, the Rockets. Shepard out. And in Portland, Sacramento, we got Aiden Williams out. Grant doubtful. Camara is questionable. Sissoko is probable. Monk questionable, and LaRavia is out there for Sacramento. So cleaning up the injuries there. Let's get to the Sweet 16 here. College basketball for tonight. Cover it here in one block. 4 games tonight. We got BYU, Alabama. Alabama 4.5, total 175. We've got Maryland and Florida. Florida laying 6.5, total 156.5. Arizona and Duke. Duke, they haven't got to 10 yet, but they're getting close. 9.5, total 154.5. Arkansas and Texas Tech. Tech 5.5, total 147.5. We get this block underway with Wayne.
Yeah, we're gonna in that Alabama BYU game. All these games are gonna be great as we winded it down to the wire. But I'm gonna take Alabama in the first half. And BYU is on their behalf. They are a solid first half team as well. I do feel like they keep it close in the game overall and make the second half adjustment. But Alabama 7-3 straight up in the first half, and 9 and ATL. Get them at -2. I got my line at 55, got up to 160. I think that team. I think Sears goes to make the adjustment. They possibly keep it close, but I like Alabama to come out of that first half on top. Second game, Maryland versus Florida. Give me the under. I got it at 156. I see shop around looking at 155, even 154 in some spots. But I like the under. I just think it's a physical game. I do respect both offenses, but both defenses are solid. These teams are kind of built a little alike. The pace sort of worries me, but solid rebounder, solid size. So I see contested 2s and solid perimeter defense. So it's not going to be easy to get the 3. Give me the under in that game.
There from Wayne. Next up, we move on over to Alex.
I'm looking at this. The only one I'm looking at from tonight, because I've got 3 other selections here across the board in the NCAA tournament. So this is the one game I'm looking at. And, a lot's been made of BYU. But, there is one problem here with BYU, and that is their defense is not good. They've also played some very hard-fought games here. And the one time they went against a team that I would say – would be close to Alabama's stature, because I don't think any of these teams they played previous to that really fit in there, not even Arizona, is Houston, and Houston absolutely swallowed them up. And I really think, okay, great, they beat Wisconsin, but I think those were 2 evenly matched teams. I think BYU played above themselves, and I don't think it's going to happen again, because Alabama is close to a top 40 defense, despite of what people may, project about this team. We know they can score, and they can score in bunches, and BYU won't be able to stop them. But on the defensive end, Alabama's a team. I'm willing to lay the points here. Let's take Alabama.
From Alex. Next up, we move on over to Bills.
Yeah, man. Alabama got a real high point total. Around 175 and stuff. Usually when you see high point totals like that, they usually go over. It's just like a strikeout pitcher. If you see he's at 8.5 strikeouts compared to a pitcher at 4.5, 9 times out of 10, that guy's going to get to 10 to 11 strikeouts before that other guy even gets close to 4 or 5. All right. So with that being said, I'm probably going to be taking the over in that Alabama game. Don't really feel too comfortable on it just because Wayne said he is on the under. But the one thing that I do already have bet and made is going to be this parlay. I took Alabama on the money line and I took the Florida Gators on the money line. And then also what I did too, also did some little props for the Florida game as well. Walter Clayton Jr., he's been scoring buckets galore. So I took him over his point prop. I added him with Cooper Flag and Caleb Love. And I got a nice little plus 375 price tag out there. So that's really the only way that I'm going to be leaning in these games. That Arizona and Duke game, though, I do think Arizona can keep it a little bit closer than that 9.5. So, yeah, that's just the way that I'm leaning.
From Mills, next up we move on over to Big Al.
Yeah, the team I want to look at is Arkansas. Arkansas has the best point spread differential through the first 2 rounds of any team left. They've covered by an aggregate of 27.5 points over their first 2 games. And, when you get a team playing that well, catching points as well in this Sweet 16 round, I want to look at them. So I'm going to take Arkansas plus the points.
There from Big Al. I'll tell you what I think here about these games as well. We'll look here at this one with Arkansas as well, plus the points in this one. Razorbacks in really good form. They've covered 11 of their past 13. Red Raiders, good offensive team, but doesn't force a whole lot of turnovers on defense. And they're only shooting over 43% over their past 5 games. And I will look here at Arkansas as well, plus the 5.5. All right, let's continue here on the drive-throughs. We'll switch on over to the NHL for tonight. Royals have tied up the Guardians here in the 9th inning with some clutch hitting here and a sac fly. 4-4 bottom 9th here. Cleveland and Kansas City in a really good one today as the Royals tie the game up in the 9th inning. Blown save here for Cleveland in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive. Let's get to the hockey here for tonight as we begin here with Penguins and Sabres. We'll cover the 707s in this block here. Penguins and Sabres, we got the Sabres $1.33, total 6.5. Senators and Red Wings, here we got the Senators $1.28, total of 6. Next up, Lightning and Hockey Club. Lightning $1.91, total 6. Canadians and Flyers. Flyers dogs here. Of course, they just removed the coach, assistant coach, now the head coach today. Canadians $1.26, total of 6. And we'll stop it right there. That game will be with the one for the next block. And we get this one underway here with Wayne.
Yeah, I got to go back to college real quick because I don't know what Mills heard. I know I'm a mumbler sometimes, and my service isn't always the best. But I got Alabama in the first half and Florida and Maryland under. Now to this hockey, we're gonna ride with Buffalo here in the revenge spot. Neither one of these teams play defense, but Buffalo's defense has been playing a lot stronger as of lately. And when it comes to the offense, Buffalo is definitely the more trustworthy. They're coming off back-to-back wins, and they will be at home. I'm going to trust the momentum and lay it with Buffalo here at -135.
Yeah, from Wayne. Next up, we move on over to Alex.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the NHL tonight, seeing what I really like. Let me see if I can say something that gives us an edge or make us believe that we have an edge, because I really don't think there's a lot of edges left from what I don't have put up here. But, I hate laying this much juice. But the Avs, they played great hockey at home this year, 26-3-4. And, the Kings have not played great on the road. And they won 10 straight at home and 11 of the last 13. This is just a homer team that plays top-tier hockey. I like the Kings, and I don't like the line. But you know what? Let's go and lay a little bit of juice tonight. We're going to take Colorado.
All right, there from Alex on over to Mills.
I'll pick it up right where you left off at. Yeah, man. I actually like Colorado on the money line, and then Tampa Bay on the money line. So what I did a little two-team parlay. It's like plus 115, plus 118 out there. And then just looking at it, I like Dylan Gunther for the Utah Hockey Club to go over his shots on goal. He's been averaging about 3 shots on goal in all of his last 5 games played. But yeah, there's nothing on this hockey slate that got me just clamoring about it to bet. Besides that little parlay.
From Mills, next up over to Big Al.
I don't love a lot. With a gun to my head, my favorite play would probably be the Senators minus $1.35, but yeah, it's bottom of the barrel.
There we go from Big Al. Let's continue here on the hockey. Let's close it out with these following games. Capitals Wild, Capitals $1.35, total 5.5. Blues and Predators, Blues $1.28, total 5.5. Stars and Flames, Stars $1.21, total sits 5.5. Oilers and Kraken, Oilers $1.21 on the road, total of 6. Kings and Avs, Avs $1.60, total sits at 5.5. Maple Leafs and Sharks, we got the Maple Leafs $2.35, total of 6. And there we go with the late night slot. We started off here with Wayne. You're on mute, Wayne. You're on.
Yeah, only one play for me in this time slot, and that's Oilers and Krakens over the 6. I like when I get the 6 because it gives me a chance for the push when I feel like it's going to go over. But neither one of these teams play defense. Oilers have solid offense, and Seattle typically plays better offense when they're at home. Boom, Seattle's at home. Outside of that, yeah, just that's it. Just see goals in this one. Don't respect neither team defensively. How they've been playing, even as of lately. I can think they continue to play bad defense, and we see a little bit of offense from them. We get 6 for the push at the minimum, but I'm thinking this one definitely goes over.
From Wayne, next up, Alex.
Yeah, nothing left for me from the NHL tonight.
Nothing left from Alex. On over to Mills.
Yeah, I'm with Wayne, man. Bet was already made before the day started, man. I'm on an over 6 in that Edmonton Oilers game. One player prop that I give you guys that I like in that one is always going to be Connor McDavid. I'm looking at him on the shots on goal, and to be honest, man, it went down a lot this year. I don't know what's really going on out there in Edmonton, but I do know this, man. This should be a game that he should be able to bounce back, so I'm taking him over his shots on goal, and yeah, I love that over in that Seattle Kraken game.
There from Mills. Cleveland got out of it, so we go to the 10th inning, 4-4, the Royals and Guardians. Next up, Big Al.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking at the Colorado Kings game. My problem is I just don't want to lay $1.50, $1.55. What I'd rather do is lay 1.5 goals and take back plus 170 and gamble that, it's just not going to fall on one goal, that they'll either win by 2 or more, they just lose outright. And I'll take Colorado. I mean, I forget who mentioned it, but they're playing great at home. 10 straight wins at Ball Arena, plus 36 goal differential there. Kings have not played well on the road, a negative 15 goal differential away from home. So I'll take Colorado minus the 1.5 at plus 170.
There from Big Al. All right, we got you through the hockey segment. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment, where our cappers will go through and give us a parlay, a peripheral today, or they give us a player prop game in the future. They make the call here. Then we're done with this segment. We'll find out what the cappers got for sale. Then we'll get the rundown from the main card from Mexico City with Mills and UFC. So let's get this parlay peripheral segment started with Wayne.
Yeah, I wasn't going to throw it in my parlay, but since Mills is so heavily on it, we're going to add that. Oilers, Seattle over 6. And we're gonna ride with we're gonna take the Magic money line. I do like them on the spread, but I'm guaranteed that they win this game. And that Alabama first half.
From Wayne, next up we move on over to Alex.
Yeah, you know what? We've got one of those situations tonight where we're looking at two sides of a line, and I really like it. You could get Florida at 6.5, and then you get Maryland at +7. And, the way the odds are playing across the board, you could even throw in some money line bets here, like, take Maryland, a little sprinkle. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, in a lot of ways is, like, I really believe what's going to happen here is going to be, it's going to be Florida running away. I think they won or they learned a lot from that game against UConn because, UConn actually played every bit as well as them and maybe even better, and came on top. But I think Florida learned a lesson there, and they were due for a down performance. Now, I'm not crazy with this +7 number that we're seeing right now the other way around. I didn't mind it at 6.5. I was sort of stretching it, but it's just one of those numbers in there, and it comes out over and over to me that both sides of this bet are really good. Florida at 6.5 is great. Maryland at +7, and on top of that, throwing a money line bet on Maryland, and let's see where we get that. See if we get that.
From Alex. Next up, we move on over to Mills.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna ride with that 2-team parlay that already got out in March Madness. Alabama on the money line and Florida on the money line. I'm a guy to where sometimes I don't like laying 6.5 points. I damn near don't like laying 9.5 points. Just the thoughts of that just kind of scares me from even making that bet. But when I can make a bet and put two money lines together in a parlay, I usually feel a lot more comfortable with that. So that's the one I'm going to be giving out. And if you guys want more plus money on that, man, I really do like Big Al's play on Arkansas tonight. Calipari, man, he's been as advertised. I gave him out last time we was on the drive-thru. I forgot who they were playing, but I was like, they got Calipari, right? Like, that guy, he got it, bro. He got the Rick Pitino hair. Rick Pitino ain't coaching no more. Let's go, Arkansas.
Arkansas there from Mills. Next up, over to Big Al.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas was my 5-star game of the year on Saturday against St. John's, so they did come through. For my parlay, can I go baseball?
Yeah, go baseball. So you're saying?
Okay, sure. I'll do a parlay with the Dodgers. Probably the cheapest you're ever going to get them at home this year. Against Scuball. I like going against the pitchers who won the Cy Young in their first start the next year. So that would have been Chris Sale and, Scubal, however you pronounce his name. So I'll take Blake Snell and the Dodgers minus $1.60, and I'll parlay that with the Lakers -4.
From Big Al. All right, I tell you what I like here. I like it. My parlay today will be the Diamondbacks with the Pacers, Wizards under, and I also like the Hawks Heat over the total. So we got you there with the parlay. Let's see what the cappers have for sale over at Pick Dogs for him. Heading into a big week of action here with Sweet 16, Major League Baseball, NBA, hockey, and of course spring football, as Big Al was talking about yesterday. So let's see what's going on over at Pick Dogs for him. Let's see what Wayne's got going on. Wayne's been putting up some pretty solid numbers here. Wayne, what you got going on over at Pick Dogs for him? We see 913 units of profit here over your past 30 days. What you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got my game of the day left in baseball, my game of the day left in NBA, and my game of the day left in college basketball. I also have a 3-pack left with college basketball. It does have my college basketball game of the day, so if you want to, if you grab that, you don't have to grab the game of the day. Outside of that, man, just looking to get back to watching these games and looking to cash for the day. Pair me up one of these top handicappers. We continue to put money in your pocket. Use the promo code PICK. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed with Wayne over at Pick Dog. We see great results from Wayne. Let's see what Big Al's got going on over at Pick Dog right now. Big Al, the last 12 months approaching over 10,000 units of profit, 10,290 units of profit. What you got for sale, Big Al?
Geez, a lot for sale. I've got 2 college basketball plays for tonight. I've got 2 plays for the NBA tonight. I've got 4 plays for college basketball for tomorrow, including a triple pack of over-unders. Then I've got 1 basketball play already for the Crown Tournament on Monday, and that's what I've got for sale.
You got to get on board with Big Al over at Pick Dog Premium. You see the results here, all documented. So you go to Big Al's handicapper page and verify that there. Great results from Big Al. Use promo code PICK. Check out, save that 50% off. Also, long-term passes, 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. Get all Big Al's premium plays for that time period. So, like, when you go to his handicapper and make that purchase, and don't forget the promo code PICK to save that 15% off. And, of course, Big Al, for those big players, you do have that all access for them.
Yeah, if folks can get down 1 to 10,000 a game and they want to join, one of the benefits is you get all the games rated from 10-star down through 1-star. You also get additional plays that don't go to the regular Pick Dogs folks. And then you can ask me about any game of your liking. You have access to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just call me, text me, and tell me what game you're looking at. I'll help you out. You just text the words Big Al to 702-769-0404.
Very good. That's get on board with Big Al. It's in your price range for that all access. Let's see what's going on here with the Alex over at Pick Dodge Premium. Alex has been strong in the NBA.
Yeah, we had a little bad run in the college basketball in the championship series. Sort of derailed being in the black for the season. But I've come back. I'm 10-5 in my last 15 college basketball selections. Hopefully we can push back over the 500 mark. Well, we're over 500. Get over the profit mark for the season again. It's been another profitable year of my college basketball totals. It's been the sides that have been a little bit upside down. But like I said, I picked those up lately. I've got a 3-pack on tonight, 2 totals, 1 side. We've got a long-term run of $51,000 for dime players over the last 2 seasons in college basketball totals. I've got 1 NBA Sharp Money Late Steam total tonight from the NBA. I'm also on a long-term 92-51, 64% totals run that dates back to last season in the high $30,000 dime profit range there. That's what's left for tonight. And, boy, lots of baseball on the way soon. And when does WNBA start this year, Tony?
I've been looking at the calendar sometime in May. That's all I remember. Sometime in May.
Yeah.
There we go. We got to finish the women. We got to finish the women's tournament first. Women's NCAA tournament, right?
Yeah, I know some guys that are making money on it actually.
Yeah.
But the limits are really low. The limits are low. Yeah.
Yeah, the first round. Wait until you get to the Elite Eight, then you get into some competitive games. Because right now it's just been blowout city when you look at these games.
Yeah.
There we get forward with Alex over at Pick Dog Premium. See results from the NBA. Why not get that long-term pass and get signed up? All right, guys, I have a best bet on the board right now over at Pick Dog Premium. Also a 3-pack mixing up my NBA and college basketball. So get on board with me over at Pick Dog Premium. You can get all my long-term pass. That 7-day pass got you covered for the Sweet 16, Elite 8, the baseball, as well as NBA. And, of course, you can match me up with the multi-capper promotion. Match me up with your favorite cappers and get signed up. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Guardians has pushed one across top of the 10th, up 5-4 here on KC in the top of the 10th. All right, that's going to do it for this part of the drive-thru. Next up, we're going to do the UFC rundown. We'll cover the main card from Mexico City. So to Al, Alex, and Wayne, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk with you guys next time.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
You got it. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Bring in Mills as we're going to go over to Mexico City here with this fight card. Let us know about this fight card, Arena CD Mexico on Saturday.
Yeah, man, it's going to be at high elevated elevation. So that's something that you got to keep in mind when you guys are capping these fighters, okay? Some of these fighters are going to be so good, so great, but only in that first round. Because if they get extended past that, then they ain't going to be looking as great as they're supposed to on those big price tags and stuff. And you got a lot of Mexican fighters on this card, and a lot of them are the ones that the UFC is kind of getting behind, and they want them to win. So, definitely, read between the lines and follow the script.
Follow the script. Of course, Mexico is not only UFC, but also boxing country. UFC and WWE forming together a boxing league. Interesting to see if we get anything. If we get any notes there, because we know it's a hotbed in Mexico for boxing.
Yeah, the boxing right now, to me, I still just got to wait and see what Dana White's going to be doing with this new promotion and everything. But yeah, man, you got a lot of the UFC fighters, they do. That's what they specialize in out there, is that boxing out there in Mexico City, compared to them being like jiu-jitsu guys or wrestling guys.
Absolutely. WNBA starts May the 16th as a start date. Let's get to the fights here. We want to cover the main card, so let's get to it here. UFC from Mexico City. We go in the lightweight division, Mexico versus U.S., Manuel Torres and Drew Dober. Close fight here. The U.S. fighter favorite here in Mexico. Wow. Minus 117, total 1.5.
Man, that's some line movement, man. Because, Torres was actually the slight favorite a couple of days ago. Minus 125 is what he is. Let's talk about it, though. He's, 15-3, 14 finishes, 7 by KO, 7 by submission. His last fight out, he didn't look that good. He fought a fighter named Ignacio Bahamondes, and he got dropped multiple times. And it looked like he didn't know how to defend himself and keep his hands up. You're fighting a fighter in Drew Dober who has that durable chin. His chin is like made of granite, and he's going out there and he's trying to put somebody out in the highlight reel. It's a pick'em price, and to be honest, the way that the dog just became the favorite, I don't feel comfortable in anything. There is one thing that I like though, man. I like violence. So that under 1.5, I think I could get to the winner with that one.
There we go from Mills. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue here with the next fight here. Let's take a look at this one here in Mexico City. We go to the flyweight division here between Kevin Borjas from Peru against Ronaldo Rodriguez from Mexico. In this one, looks like online right now we got Rodriguez here favored here, $1.48.
Yeah, so let's talk about the dog in this one, man. This dog Borjas, I think he comes from Peru, and he made his debut on the Dana White Contender Series as a big dog, and he was able to cash in there. So it's kind of been one of those things to where whenever he's fighting against anybody, everybody likes to go back to that first fight that they were able to make money on and think he's going to do it again, right? I don't think so, man. Lazy Boy Rodriguez, he opened up a -175, as you see, all the way down to a -150. If he gets down to that -135, I might be able to hop in straight on that. Rodriguez is a fighter that's going to have the crowd behind him. The only thing that he lacks is fight IQ, but I do think Rodriguez gets the job done.
There from Mills. Let's continue here on UFC Rundown. Look at the main card here from Mexico City. Next up, we will take a look at this one here in the bantamweight division. We got Raul Rojas against Vince Morales, Mexico City versus the Morales fighter from U.S. In this one, Rosas a big favorite, about $5 total 2.5.
All right, so yeah, man, you got Rojas Jr. He was the youngest UFC fighter to sign with the promotion, and he's a guy that goes out there and he tries to get the submissions. And if he's not able to get the submissions, he's just going to kind of ride you out and get to the win by the decision. The guy that he's facing is a guy that has an extensive fight resume. He's already been in the UFC. He's been cut, got back to the UFC. And when he got back to the UFC, he's already on his second loss, no wins yet. And look at what they're giving him, another fighter that they expect the favorite to win. Rojas opened up, I want to say, like a -310 favorite. Now he's all the way up to that 495. The thing that I like, I do like the over 2.5 at that -160 price. And then I think Rojas will win by decision. So that'll be the way to cut down that price tag. And if you guys are looking for a parlay piece, man, you should have hopped on it a little bit earlier when it was around that 380. But I do like Rojas in the main event. Brandon Moreno as a two-piece parlay.
There we go with Mills. Let's continue here on the UFC Rundown tonight here. As we continue here on this rundown, we're going to take a look here at the bantamweight division. David Martinez, or they call him maybe David. He's from Mexican fighters, so probably call him David Martinez from Mexico against Simon Oliveira from Brazil. The Mexican fighter Martinez favorite 415, total 2.5.
Yeah, man. So, you got the taller guy, but he's not going to have the longer reach in here. He's around 5'6", fighter that's only 5'4", and the 5'4" fighter has a 72-inch reach compared to the 66-inch reach. But the thing that I like on Martinez is going to be the striking and the striking numbers that he puts up. He's averaging about 5.5 significant strikes landed per minute. Compared to Solomon Oliver, we haven't seen this guy fight in about a year and a half, and he's just been on the couch. This is a tailor-made fight for the Mexican fighter to go out there and get his hand raised. I think he gets his hand raised.
Yeah, from Mills. All right, let's continue here on the UFC Rundown for tonight as we continue here with the next one. This one is in the main card, looking at the main event, flyweight division, number 2 contender Brandon Moreno from Mexico against number 8 Steven Urseg from Australia. Moreno favorite 246, total 4.5.
Yeah, man. So for the people out there in the chat, that's probably the one name that they're going to recognize out this whole card, Brandon Moreno. And this is who the card is made, for. If he gets this win, he will be fighting again for that championship title. And I do think he gets the job done in here. The price tag that he's at, it's kind of been staying at that price tag. It didn't get hammered compared to all these other favorites. This is my one thing about betting main events. Always got to be cautious because you're always betting on technically the second best fighter on the card if you think about it. So it's like, yeah, like you want to bet on Moreno, but then again, you're fading him with a good fighter. So that's one thing that I really don't like to do too much is like if you guys are fading a good fighter with with another good fighter, that's not the way to bet it. But I do think Moreno gets his hand raised.
There from Mills. Let's continue here on the drive-through as we continue here on the UFC Rundown. Next up, we go to the middleweight division as we have U.S. versus U.S. Who booked this one? Gavin Gastelum taking on Joe Pfeiffer here from the U.S. Look at this one. Pfeiffer, a big favorite, 302, total 2.5.
Don't let the last name fool you, man. Gaslam is all Mexican, man. He got that Mexican-American pride and blood running through his veins. So, yeah, they didn't mess up on that one. They definitely got him on there, man. So, yeah, you got Joe Pfeiffer in this one, man. And looking at this right now, wow. I'm glad you put this stat up. The over 2.5 at a -129. Kevin Gaslam's been to so many wars with so many fighters, and he's so durable. Got a huge head, and it just seems like nobody can put him out. Pfeiffer is a guy that, he does have a lot of wins inside the distance, but this is one to where I could definitely see it getting extended over that 2.5. And I do like Joe Pfeiffer as well. So that would be another solid parlay piece for you guys. If you guys don't want to go with Rojas or anything, or even just take this 300 and get another fighter out there and, nice little parlay to get you paid.
There from Mills. Looks like we got you through it. We got you through the card here.
I got one I want to talk about for him. Yeah, I got one I want to talk about. I'm going to give him a free play on this one. Christian Rodriguez versus Miguel Costa. You got this one to where, Christian Rodriguez is the prospect killer. Anybody that he goes against is usually like the up-and-coming prospect, and he kills him, and he gets the job done in here. He opened up a -130. He's all the way up to a -160 now. Costa, he's coming off of a win that he just fought within like 2 months against Andre Fili. He's taking this fight on short notice in here. I like Christian Rodriguez on the money line in here. So that'd be like one of the bets on here that I think that you guys can kind of get to the window with, and you don't got to really parlay it when you're betting on UFC. If you get a line that's a -130, that's like a gift. That's damn near like plus money in NBA. So, it's kind of like when you're looking at UFC bets, the 150s, the 180s, that's kind of where, a lot of the lines are at. And you can't be afraid to lay the chalk and talk. Like when I see a -200 price tag, it's plenty of times I bet on Brandon Moreno at that price tag and felt good about it. Just because, you got to be confident in the plays. So, yeah, man, give me Rodriguez in this one.
Rodriguez there from Mills, and that one there as we got you through the. Actually, we got to get one for the ladies, right? Loopy is fighting again.
Oh yeah, man. Let's go, man. So yeah, man, this one, Lupi Godinez, man. She's gonna have the crowd behind her, man. But she's a girl that I can't bet. You want to know why? She was a -350 favorite fighting a girl to where all she had to do was go for the takedowns. I went to the event live. She didn't even shoot for a takedown. Oh. And when I say I lost money, bro, I lost so much money to where I just can't get over her or over it. And I got to bring it up every single goddamn time. So with that being said, there's no way I'm laying -275 on her in this spot. She's not a trustworthy fighter. She has good boxing. She has great wrestling, but she doesn't mix the two. When she gets caught up in her head, she's only going one way, and that's the one way out there. With that being said, she's probably going to keep it on the feet and use the boxing out here. I will give her credit, though. Her boxing is top tier, and I still think she should be able to get the win. So I think Lupi Godinez gets the wins by decision in this one.
There you go. We got a couple bonus
plays. You can go through some more. You can go through like 3 more if you want.
3 more? All right, 3 more here. Let's continue here on this undercard with the Mills here on the drive-through. Let's take a look at this one here. Lightweight belt, Rafa Garcia against Vince Pinchel. Oh, man, these looks like a couple of guys you don't really want to let's just say these couple guys you don't really want to meet. Looking at them.
Hey, you see the mustaches on them, yeah, man. Yeah. You see them already. Right. You just say yes. They say something to you, just say yes. Don't even try to plead your case or anything. Just say yes. All right, so in this one, man, shout out to Vince Pichel, man. I interviewed him a couple of times, He's definitely has a mouthpiece on him, and he's not scared to go out there and step into that cage and put it all into display. That price tag is way too off for Rafael Garcia in this one. I just think the most confident play is fight not going the distance in this one. If I'm sprinkling on anything, it's going to be the dog in this one, man. So give me Vince help from Pichel.
Yeah, from Mills. All right, let's continue on. A couple more here from the undercard here in Mexico City. UFC action here as we'll get to let's see, we got to this one here in the division we're looking at here in this fight here. We go to flyweight division here. Edgar Chairez from Mexico against CJ Vergara from US. So we got Chairez 260, total 2.5.
Yeah, this is another one right there to where, Charez, he's definitely going to have the crowd behind him. And there's a few fighters out there that's actually like living in Mexico City and training and everything. And he's one of them right there. And CJ Bagaria is another fighter just like Vince Morales that we were talking about. Whenever he's fighting anybody, it's against an opponent to where they already know we need this guy to win. They're not giving CJ Bagaria any matchups to where they actually want him to win. So in this one, the play got to be Charez, and I think he wins inside the distance.
All right, let's continue here on the UFC rundown with Mills as we continue on here with the with this rundown here from the UFC. Let's see if we get to another one here for you guys here. We're pretty much going to cover the we should get through all of them here. Yeah, we are going to get through all of them. So we're just waiting to get to the next one here between Charez and we got Charez. Actually, this is the one we want to get to.
Go down Medeiros and Hubbard. Yeah, Medeiros and Hubbard. That one. Yeah.
That one right there. Okay, Medeiros and Hubbard head to head here in this one. We got the lightweight belt here with Medeiros from U.S. and Hubbard U.S. fighters here. Medeiros $1.71, total 2.5.
Yeah, man. In this one, I definitely see this one going to the scorecards, going to the distance in here. Money's coming in on Hubbard now. Medeiros opened up a -2-1 favorite. His boxing is top tier. He has powers in his hands. He has a nice left counter that he throws out there, and he uses the uppercut frequently. Austin Hubbard is an overall fighter. He kind of just goes for wrestling, does whatever he can to get the win. This is another one where I think Medeiros should be able to get the job done. And if the money keeps coming in on Hubbard, I could definitely make a case for Medeiros at that -160 price tag.
Yeah, from Mills. All right, we got you through most of these undercard fights here in the UFC as it heads over to Mexico City. So make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. Here's another one: Emmers from US and Miranda, the Brazilian fighter. This one, Emmers 383, total 2.5.
Yeah, man, this is one to where everybody's going to be parlaying Jamal Emmers, but this is when I was kind of talking about in the beginning. He's going to look so great in that first 5 minutes, but he's out here from my neck of the woods, out here in California, so where we ain't used to that high altitude at all unless you go on to Big Bear to train. So this is going to be the thing. I think Jamal Emmers is either going to win early on in the fight, and if he doesn't, it's going to look a little bit more, untrustworthy in the third round. So I think Jamal Emmers wins, and I think this one ain't going the distance.
Here we go from Mills, and we got you. Here's the other one, last one we haven't got to. Jose Daniel Medina from Bolivia against Altema Gautier from Cameroon. Two fight guts for Cameroon looking pretty cut in this one.
So the fighter from Cameroon reminds me of the fighter that was on last week's card. He was the Democratic of where? Remember?
Congo.
There we go. And guess what? He was a -1,000 favorite. And guess what? He got knocked out and choked out in the first round, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so with that, though, man, Medina, he doesn't have that aspect on him. He's just a tough guy. He just comes forward. He doesn't really throw punches. I think Gautier does get the win, but this is nothing that I could bet on at that price tag after seeing what just happened last week as well.
There you go. We got you through the undercard, the main event, and in the undercard here, UFC in Mexico City, ESPN 2 fights. So you'll be able to watch this over on ESPN 2 for the main event and in the prelims. So check it out there if you would with Mills. All right, Mills, the content contributor here at Pick Dogs on the YouTube channel. Let everybody know what you got going on over at Pick Dogs YouTube. Of course, you got the UFC rundowns as well as your player prop shop.
Yeah, man. Woke up early today. Woke up around like 1 o'clock in the morning to get the Thursday prop shop video out to you guys around like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock for you guys. So that's out already today. Got a few players on the Dodger game that I like in there, and then also too we got the UFC Bet With Me series. I mean, last week we were cashing, man. We gave out a lot of dogs, and our overs and unders was solid money on there. That video should be getting out on the network, I would say, in the next hour. It's already recorded. They're just working on everything right now. So you got the UFC Bet With Me video, and then you also got the daily prop shop video that we're doing over here daily for you guys.
Very good, guys. So check out Mills over at Pick Dogs YouTube. A lot of great content there from Mills. All right. That's the deal for this edition of the Drive Thru. Mills, have anything to say before we close it out?
Yeah, man, I just want to tell you guys, man, everything that we're doing over here is just great. So if you guys want to do something, get off that damn computer and phone and go travel the world and vacate. You know what I mean? And then tell me where y'all went next year, because I'm out here in Japan just doing what we can. And don't say, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. I drop prop videos, I'm doing daily shows, and I'm enjoying traveling the world.
Absolutely. They're traveling the world. Mills in Tokyo, Japan right now. Early morning out there. All right, Mills. Thanks for joining us here on the drive-thru. That's going to do it for this show. Back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Each time. So make sure you tune in, like, subscribe, hit those notifications. We're going to say goodbye, guys. You guys making a winning night. We're back again.